बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम अल्हम्दुलिल्लाहि रब्बिल आलमीन वस्सलातु वस्सलामु अला मुहम्मदिर रसूलिल्लाह व अला आलिहि व सहबिहि अजमईन अम्मा बाद। On the day of Friday, the Prophet ﷺ used to advise people, give them nasiha and guidance. Since he sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to Madinatul Munawwara, this was the one collective occasion in the week, especially when people from around the tribes and areas also used to come. But one of the features and nature of those blessed khutbas, we note from, because there are many speeches and khutbas of the Prophet ﷺ which are saved in the books. This khutbah which you hear on the minbar on Friday, this is the memory or the revival of that sunnah. In the first khutbah, the Prophet ﷺ used to give nasiha and guide people on certain matters. In the second khutbah, which was mainly consists of dua, prayers and brief guidance. So although those blessed sermons were short, maybe about maximum 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. And in that, it could have been possible that a person can speak thoroughly, meaning without any pause, like speeches happen for 10-15 minutes. But first thing, it was short, and secondly, even in between those khutbahs, there was pause, as you see the Imam sits. तो हज़ूर अलैहिस्सलाम की जो खुतबात मुबारक हैं वो अहादीस में महफूज हैं। उनमें से हमें बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं, लेकिन दो चीज़ें जो है वो यानी सीखने वाली हैं उससे। एक तो जो पहला खुतबा आपका होता था उसमें बयान होता था, उसमें नसीहत होती थी, उसमें कुरान मजीद के ज़रिए, और क्योंकि आपका बोलना ही हदीस था। और दूसरा जो है वो खुतबा, वो उसमें भी मुख्तलिफ नसीहत होती और उसमें दुआ होती। यानी दुआ मुसलमानों के लिए और सबके लिए। लेकिन इसके बावजूद कि वो खुतबे लंबे नहीं होते थे, 10-15 मिनट लगते थे ज़्यादा ज़्यादा दोनों को आमतौर पर, लेकिन उसके बावजूद वक्फा दरमियान में होता। अब उससे जो है हम दो चीज़ें सीख सकते हैं। एक तो ये कि वो खुतबा मुख्तसर होता कि बंदे को अमल के लिए कुछ ज़्यादा लंबी तकरीर नहीं चाहिए कि भाई घंटे की तकरीर हो तो अमल ज़्यादा कर लेगा बंदे। So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam way of speech and khutbah was that they were not lengthy and they were short. So this means that the purpose is not actually speaking and listening. The purpose is to practice. The purpose is to practice. But the amal and the practice found in Sahaba Ikram Rizwan Ajma'in, they were up to the highest level. Many of us have fallen victim to this mentality somehow, that we listen hours on end, but there is no intention to put that into practice. So we stay where we are. We just say, oh, we've heard something good, and that's it. The Sahaba Ikram Rizwan Ajma'in and the Prophet ﷺ, that if they have heard it, that's it. That's in practice now from today. So there was a change, there was benefit, so much so that Prophet ﷺ in one of the khutbahs, he was saying to people, sit down. Now that was a command for the people who were in the masjid to sit down. There was one companion who was coming toward the masjid in the path. He was not in the masjid. He was just walking like from people walking from outside. But when he heard that Prophet ﷺ said, sit down, he sat down there. And while sitting down, he came towards the masjid. What does that show? It shows the mentality of practice. So we are not concerned the imam or someone is saying, we say, okay, that's fine, let him say whatever he wants to say. We'll do whatever he wants to do. That's why actually the state of Muslims or whatever state is not improving very much, because, as you know, in the age of technology, almost previous what scholars, the knowledge they had in previous times, people had one book, 2 books, 3 books. Now all of those books are available. All of those tafsir are available. All of that knowledge is available, but in practice, in character, is not so much available now. Previously, it was available more in live practice, in dealings, in akhlaq, in muamalat, and in other matters. Although it was very scarce, limited, no internet, no books, few books and things. So this shows that we need to change, switch on that switch in our mind, that whatever we are hearing, we should put that into practice. That's how we are going to achieve. That's how the change will come. Because without that mentality, then there are many people who hear, who study, even they themselves become scholars, if they have no intention of practice, they are not going to. Even they listen to the highest level of speech or scholar. I mean, in the Quran it's mentioned that who speech can be better and effective than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Jalla Majduhu, himself when he speaks. So he was speaking and addressing malaika, angels, and giving a command about Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam. There was a jinn there as well. That jinn chose not to, he decided, I will listen, but I'm not going to follow. That's the person we know now as devil and shaitan. So the speech was of the highest level. The personality of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the being is, and it was being addressed, and he was hearing himself, and as angels were doing as well. But that mentality he had in mind that I'm not going to prostrate. He decided I'm not going, I will hear it, but I'm not going to do. That made him devil. That made him shaitan. So this mindset is very, very dangerous, and only you can switch on. It's like a door when it's locked from inside. Only from inside a person can open that lock. No one can, outside there's no lock there. This is that type of lock that which is inside. You know, there are some locks which are inside the house. From outside they can't be opened. So inside your mind and heart, it is only you who can actually switch that yes, I shouldn't follow wrong things, but whenever I'm going to hear anything truthful, anything right, anything beneficial, I am going to try to utmost to put that into practice. Once that switch is on, then you will see some change will start coming in you, because you will now start practicing little things, and then when you see the benefit, then you want to do more. But firstly, you need to switch on that actually switch. And if that is only in audio mode, meaning listening mode, it will all life stay there. If it becomes in a practical mode, then actually this. So one of the lessons we learned from the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's speech and khutbah, that they were brief, but the effect was more. So what does that mean? That means that actually we need to listen less and do more. There's no use increasing listening when the mode of practicality and action is not there. That is the answer to some people when they say, oh, no change is coming, or etc., we are doing this, because they have not intentionally made that switch, they have not switched that switch on intention. And when a person does, because niyyah and intention is important, all amal are going to come after. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to benefit from the wisdom of the prophetic speech and prophetic khutbah, and may Allah azza wa jalla enable us to switch that switch on, which is a practice. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.